So Maura, Jim, I'm very pleased to have the chance to share with you some of the Hong Kong's experience and vision in shaping a walkable environment. Walkability in Hong Kong is not new. Going back to the history, Hong Kong was a little fishing village in the 19th century with a scattered settlement along the very steep northern shoreline of Hong Kong Island. With the very steep topography, Hong Kong had always been a very walkable city with extensive use of rickshaw, as seen here, instead of the horse car or horse-drawn trams in other parts of the world. So these rickshaws are traveling around the very steep, narrow, windy roads. So with walking as the most popular mode of transportation, our building environment is very special. We included the covered walkway under the veranda type of shop houses to provide the shading and rain protection to our pedestrians. Nowadays, Hong Kong is an highly high-density compact city with over 7 million population, living in about 270 square kilometers built-up area along the both shores of Hong Kong Island and Kowloon, and also in some new towns in the new territories. So for over 90% of our trips are using public transport, and inevitably walking from the station or from home to the station and bus stops and vice versa, or to the work, is part of the daily commuter's experience. So therefore, the planning for the pedestrian or for walkability is very important. Every day, about 12.6 million passengers journeys are made in the very efficient public transport system, which comprises railway, trams, buses, minibuses, taxis, and ferries. Railway forms the backbone of Hong Kong's public transport system, account for about 40% of the public transport patronage, and these figures will increase further after completion of the 4 new railway projects currently under construction. To accommodate such high railway patronage, we need to plan our city smartly and carefully around the railway system. Therefore, the railway stations are planned to enhance their attractiveness. Currently, our planned catchment is 500 meters. We call it the 500-meter walking or walkable catchment area, which covers about 70% of our population and 77% of the commercial floor space and 45% of our industry and storage zones, certainly after completion of a few railway projects under construction. I would like to use a few examples to show walkability in our planning process. Sha Tin New Town is one of the first generation new towns in Hong Kong, which was built and planned in the 70s of last century. It has grown from a rural township of about 30,000 people up to now is 700,000 today. Its town center has become a very successful and acclaimed high-density TOD, what we call a transit-oriented development. With walkability being planned at the outset of the planning stage to integrate different transportation modes from railway to buses, minibuses, taxis, etc. It is very accessible and walkable, with urban development comprising 200,000 square meters of shopping floor space, with residential towers on top, and also government community service, district open space, riverside park, etc. are all located within walking distance and linked by a comprehensive elevated walkway system on different directions. So that's a very good successful example on planning of walkability. So moving from the first generation new town to the latest urban development, that is the redevelopment of the old Kai Tak Airport. Previously, the airport was a bonded facility with no pedestrian or virtually no pedestrian connection with the adjoining areas. In the planning stage of this project, connectivity with the existing hinterland or the neighborhood, in particular the walkability and pedestrian facility, is a prime consideration in the planning process. A total of 25 sets of pedestrian facility will be provided. Full enhancement of existing facility, provision of new connections in form of a grade crossing, elevated walkways and subways. This connection network will definitely enhance the accessibility to the high-tech development in the hinterland and also the mobility among the area. And most important, they will link up with the heritage and history of the hinterland in the Kowloon city. Furthermore, we also incorporate an underground shopping street, the blue one in the middle. Basically, that will link up all the commercial sites in the high-density core area, with a function to link up with ultimately with the adjoining hinterland from the Sun Po Kong, Kowloon City, and To Ko Wan, and bring all the people closer to a public transportation system, the two railway stations in here. They will create a synergy effect with a retail cluster of adjoining commercial developments. So planning a greenfield site is challenging, but rejuvenation of existing urban area is even more challenging. Kowloon Bay and Kwun Tong are the two traditional industrial bases in the heydays of Hong Kong's manufacturing industry. Recently, the government has a commitment of transforming these two areas into a new CBD. And with the increase in business activities, we are now experiencing overcrowded passageway, conflicts between pedestrian and vehicles. So we formulate a comprehensive pedestrian network covering a grade and also elevated walkway system to alleviate the problem. However, we find one big difficulty. The roadways are pretty narrow, and we could not or could hardly find enough space to accommodate the landing area for those walkways, and also providing columns and supports. So we have put forward a very innovative proposal in encouraging the private sector to build short bridges linking the development of between buildings to serve as part of the extensive footbridge network. And we are now wait and see the development in this new area. Hopefully that will bring us a new elevated walkway system to address the walkability in those old areas. Another challenge is those developments in the urban fringe. Like this one, we are talking about the Anderson Road development on a very steep slope, which is well above the other developments at a very elevated location. The site about 90 meters above the sea level. So asking the future residents to climb this level is almost impossible. So we planned to build 4 pedestrian connections to enhance the walkability, which comprises lift towers, escalators, elevated walkways, and they are totally accounted for 63 meters, roughly about 21 stories in height. So we're building this elevated lift towers to address the topographic constraints. So today, we want to emphasize the need to plan our city for people. We are exploring different ways to plan for better pedestrian network and to protect people from traffic accident and poor air quality, and also to make street and attractive places to exit. Looking ahead, we seek to create a society that continues to plan for population cluster within the walking distance from railway station to serve and to strengthen its role as the backbone for transportation system, putting pedestrian first in urban design for new development areas and rejuvenation of old areas. And also we will invest in the public realm with connectivity, integration, and placemaking, and introduce more vibrancy to the environment. Finally, promote an age-friendly and people-oriented design of walking environment for elderly and families. We will also continue to move with the cluttering effects. So the government is carrying out an updating exercise of Hong Kong's territorial development strategies, which is known as the Hong Kong 2030 Plus, towards a planning vision and strategy transcending 2030. We will carry out public consultation shortly, And enhancing Hong Kong's livability and walkability will be one of the major themes in this exercise. So we hope you can actively participate in the forthcoming consulting session. So thank you very much for the opportunity for us to share with you on our planning experience.